Alright, so question 17. The figure is made out of two identical right angled triangles with overlap each other, and PQ is equal to 10 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to quickly draw PQ to be 10 centimeters. Right, that's what you see over here. Alright, find the length of RS. Okay, so in this case, the RS over here, if I were to also draw this line, right, as 14 centimeters. So what do you think RS is? So if you guess any overlap triangles, right, the length is always the same because they are both identical. So since this 14 centimeters also can be drawn the same length, okay, that's what you see over here, right? So this is also 14 centimeters. That's what you see over here. Okay, therefore the answer for RS is 14 centimeters, not 24, 14 centimeters. Okay. All right, so let's move on to part B. Find the area of the shaded part. Okay, so I think you can see we have one triangle over here, right? So I'm going to quickly draw this triangle. So you see I have a red triangle as what you see over here. So it's pretty straightforward because in this case, this is a right angle triangle as well, right? This is a right angle triangle. Okay, then we can form another triangle. Okay, so from here, right, PQ, this is 24 centimeters. So what do you think this one will be from the Q section all the way to the base? So for this will be 10 minus 24. This will also be 14. Okay, just to give a good sense on what this is, right? This is also 14 centimeters because, yeah, 24 minus 10, 14 centimeters. Okay, in this case over here, we also need to know that 10 centimeters, right? Let me just put this in blue, right? This 10 centimeters, right, can also be moved through the line like this. So this is also 10 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to put this in blue as well. So at least we are not confused with the numbers. So this is 10 centimeters. So that means we have another triangle. So you can see over here, right? So this 10 centimeters, because it's inside, we can draw this line. So 10 centimeters is also over here, right? So we have two triangles. So we also have another triangle over here as well. So we also know that this 14 centimeters is also inside here. Okay. So in this case over here, I'm going to put this as 14 centimeters. Whoops. I'm going to move this over here, right? 14 centimeters, and we have another triangle. So I'm going to draw it. So you have another triangle like this. Okay. So now the thing is that we have what 40 centimeters. So what about the last part? Okay, so the last part, okay, so you know that this is 10 centimeters. Last part here is 10 centimeters as well. So you could see that we have 14 centimeters because this is over here, right? So you just draw a straight line. This is 14 centimeters. So what do you think this little angle over here, right? If I were to just extend this line as well, so what is this small little height? Okay, like running out of like what do you call this on color. So this should be 10 minus 4. This is 4 centimeters in this case over here. Okay, so you can see that, let me draw a line as well, that 4 centimeters is basically this and this, okay, which is basically 14 centimeters. And then over here it's kind of overlap, but since they are the same, we actually can put this triangle over here, right, to this over here. So in essence, right, we can move this. So we can move this whole thing over here to this part, right? I think I also added this, right, like this. Okay, so essentially this is a whole what do you call this, a right angle, and then we can make this into a what do you call this, the a rectangle. So I'm gonna just copy this, right, and then let me copy this and paste this over here, something like this. Okay, then maybe I'll draw a line, right, arrow, okay, so that we can connect this from here to here somewhere lah, right? Okay, so in this case, hopefully this make a lot of sense, right? So 14, 10, 10, 14, right? So in this case over here, gonna draw like this, 14. Okay, all right, so a lot. Okay, so shaded part is equal to, right, 3 triangles plus 1 rectangle. Okay, so 1 triangle, okay, in this case 1, 2, 3, so is equal to half times base times height. In this case, the base is 14 and the height is 10. So for all of this is the same. That means half times base is 14 centimeters, all right? Okay, and then times height, okay, 14 times 10, okay, so this will be equal to 70, right? So 14 divided by 2 is 7 times 10 is 70. And then what about the rectangle? So three triangles. So one triangle area, okay, three triangles area, one rectangle area. Okay, is equal to 3 times 70, which is equal to 210. Three triangles area, triangle area is 210. Okay, in this case, all right, so what rectangle area? Okay, over here. So we can actually put this whole thing, right? Can I put all of this as dotted lines? Okay, this whole thing is actually, we can move it. Let me get this X small, move it here. Okay, yeah, something like that, lah, right? So we move it here. Okay, so this, we can move this, make this small, yeah, move this triangle to form a rectangle. That's what I see. You can move this triangle, so make it purple, right, to form a rectangle. So the length and breadth is 14 times 10. So I'm gonna put here as rectangle, right, area. Okay, it is equal to like length times breadth, which in this case is length is 14 and breadth is 4. 14 times 4, and this will give us 14 times 4 is 2856. Okay, so this is 56 centimeter square. Okay, so now we know the rectangle area. Then the last part is shaded part. Shaded part is equal to 3 triangles, 210 plus 56. Okay, and what will this give us? This will give us 266 centimeter square. That's it, right? So this is a really tough one. 4 marks worth, yeah, I think so. But yeah, so this is really, I would say, something that you really need to think about as much as possible, right? Okay, so I'm gonna push this 4 centimeters away, something like this. Okay, and then draw a line. That's what I see over here.